Hello, my name is Pat Higgins. I am Vice President of Marketing with Whitmix Corporation, and I wanted to thank everyone for coming to our digital training series. We realize that all of our lives have been interrupted here, and probably like a lot of you guys, you're working from home or you're on a skeleton crew, a limited staff at your office, and we're in the same situation. We are in a limited staff, and most of us are working from home. And so during the crisis, Whitmix wanted to figure out a way how we could stay committed to providing you guys information and education for our dental community. So in addition to this free training series that you're going to be part of with Cory, Evan, and Bryce, we're also doing things to help our community during this crisis. For instance, these 3D masks that we are printing to help our community. A face shield, in addition, and nasal swabs. All of these things that we're doing in an effort to help control this crisis, stop the spread of this terrible virus, and hopefully, eventually, all of us get back to our normal lives. So today's agenda is going to be centered around COVID-19 and how it's affected our lives, what we can do, and what Whitmix is doing to try to help the community. And then it's going to be hosted by Cory Lambert, Evan Kemper, and Bryce Heller. Three of the best in the business. They are the head of our technical support team, and these guys are as good as it comes. So excited to have them host this whole series. You're going to learn a ton over the next few weeks, and it's something that we hope to continue to do as time moves forward. Please be, if you have questions or any of that kind of stuff, please fire it at our team. And I'm excited to be a part of this. So we're looking forward to the next week. And Cory, take it away.
Yep. Thanks, Pat. I appreciate it.
Yep.
First, for those that don't know who I am, my name is Cory Lambert, and I'm the product support manager here at Whitmix Corporation. And I'll let Evan and Bryce, if you guys both want to introduce yourselves, and then we'll talk about a little bit of the web series. And then I say we talk about some of the more I guess some of the daunting tasks of working at a skeleton crew, just because it's, I mean, we're facing it firsthand, just like everybody else is. For everybody that's watching, you guys can see that I'm still in the office, and then Evan's still in the office, and then Bryce, which is hopefully, I don't know on everybody's screen, but he's below me. He's actually working from home. And so for our social distancing right now, if you were to see, I'm actually like back here somewhere behind Evan, just so you guys can see that. But yeah, it's my name's Cory, and I'll be in a few of these digital series, and then Bryce, if you want to introduce yourself and who you are, what you do here at Whitmix.
Sure. Yeah. My name's Bryce, and I've been at Whitmix for just coming up on a year now. I came from a dental lab. Actually, all of us are dental lab techs, which is really nice. And I do a lot of the product support at Whitmix. My focus is really on 3D printing and 3Shape CAD software. A lot of you have probably talked to me on the phone before, as well as Cory and Evan. So like Cory said, I'm working from home, which definitely presents a whole host of challenges. I'm sure a lot of you, if you're working from home, you've kind of run into these as well. So the nice thing about these courses that we're going to be doing is, a lot of we're kind of in the same boat as you. We're kind of stumbling through this and figuring this out with you. So you're not alone in this. We're going through the same thing. So we're just kind of going to put some of these sessions together just to kind of make it through this crisis all together and as a team and as an industry. So Evan.
Yep, so a lot of you probably already know me. I'm Evan Kemper. I've been with Whitmix since 2013. So my current role now is application engineer, so I spend a lot more time than I used to working on R&D design work. And due to the kind of new opening of a lot of free time here, given that what's happening, I've been spending a lot more time on our kind of custom solutions or ways that we can utilize our now kind of open print capacity and that kind of stuff to help aid in COVID relief. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into today's webinar.
Yeah, it's unfortunate circumstances what we're in today, and you know, being that we have to produce these, I mean, all the way around in general, the situation, I mean, let's just be honest, I think we all agree it sucks completely. But with that, we're able to help out in some way. And as dental labs, most of the dental labs, they have 3D printers. And so a common question we get a lot here is like, hey, we'll get emails like, hey guys, you know, what can we 3D print with our 3D printer? And a lot of our customers, they have the Heceta Max, which has a little bit smaller build envelope. So it's about like yay big and about 75 millimeters high. We have actually over the weekend, quite a few files have popped up that can be 3D printed and help out. And I will, at the end of the series, for those that have our email, it's productsupport@witmix.com. If you email us, we can go ahead and share some of these open STL files. They're free STL files. Majority of them either are produced by an author and it's been shared like 1,000 times through Facebook. So I can't, I don't know the exact author, else I would give them credit. Thank you so much for whoever designed these applications and sharing them. One of them that I printed this morning, which is, it's super simple, but all it is just an attachment to the back of a face mask that allows users to not have to put that strain on the ear. It helps with user fatigue when wearing these face masks all day. And so something as simple like this, you know, you could offer to your hospitals. And actually Bryce's wife brought this to attention. She's a nurse at a local hospital here. And so he's been printing them. He has one of the Varibuild printers there, and so he's starting to print those today. But we printed this onto the Heceta Mac, so you can fit 9 of these on a build plate. And I printed it in the gray material, and it was about 30 minutes. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask anytime. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, and then if Evan, if you want to show them, oh, I got one more over here. Besides this attachment here that you can add to the face mask, it's pretty simple. It keeps it nice and snug, and it doesn't wear on you as much. Another attachment that I found online for people that are 3D printing are these, they're called like Tron glasses attachments. I've seen this being passed around by a few dental groups on Facebook. So I printed this out of the splint material. It is autoclavable, sterilizable, class 2 medical material. And you just attach a face shield to it. And so it's pretty simple. You can fit, I believe it's about 10 or 15 of these, a Max build plate and a Heceta Max build plate, and print them in, I think it was like 40 minutes or a half hour or something like that. And it's a simple attachment to the face, and it protects you, or it protects really anybody that's trying to prevent themselves from being in contact with it. But the Bellis 3D app has been pretty cool, and I'll have Evan show a demonstration of something that they're doing there.
Yeah, give me 1 second to turn this on. So yeah, it was kind of cool. They just announced it today, and this is a free option for anybody who has the Bellis Dental Pro or just the free Bellis app. So if you have an iPhone 10 or newer, or one of the new iPads that has the face unlock, then you can actually use this to create what they're calling, it's basically like a face mask tightener or fitter. It basically, if you have one of the kind of off-the-shelf surgical masks, or even the cloth ones, you know, they'll fit somewhat tight, but it's not a true like form fit to your face. I haven't actually printed one of these yet, but it's kind of cool. So you can see I've got a face scan of myself from Bellis, and this is the Dental Pro app. So all you have to do is do the scan. That takes, you know, just a couple of minutes, actually about a minute. But there's a new option over on the very bottom on the right that's Mask Fitter. So if I just click that, you can, if I can get this a little closer, you probably just want to check it out on their website, but and maybe I'll pull that up in a second, but it just kind of form fits that mask. And all you do is you just put in an ID or anything that you might want printed on it. So I just put test in, and when I hit continue, it takes it about 10 seconds, and it automatically generates that kind of a bar that it's form fit to your face scan. That will then allow you to hook in elastic string. It's got these little hooks here that will then hold a cloth mask tight to your face. So pretty cool and free. If you have a printer, you can do this for yourself, and you know, anybody you know, but I would not recommend scanning in person. If they have one of the devices I mentioned, then they can scan and like send you the print file.
Could you show a up close on your webcam of the scan with that attachment attached to it, or the face mask?
And Evan, also just to clarify, so is this this feature available to just the people that have purchased the Bellis 3D software already, or is this a separate free download?
It is it's free to all Bellis users. So you can also, if you have not the Dental Pro version, but if you just want to get the regular Bellis face scanning app, it's in the iOS store. It's a free app, and typically there's a fee to export your face scan. But my understanding of this is that Bellis has made this free across the board.
Awesome.
You can also get the face scanning app for Android, but it does require an add-on camera that you probably don't have. So typically, this is really going to be for the people who have the newer iOS devices. I'll see if I can pull up a better picture real quick on my computer, because the white didn't show up that well in the webcam.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
So
that's pretty sweet. And then in all these files, I see that we have a question on here. Can we have a file for it? All these objects that we're showing, they are all found online. If anybody wants these STL files, please send us an email at productsupport@witmix.com. We'll go ahead and send you all the files that we found that fit on the Heceta Mac build plate and also fit on the Sega Pro 2 build plate. The Sega Pro 2, it's an older generation printer, but it does have a larger build envelope that allows you to utilize more space. A lot of people are asking about, what about ventilators? Can we print ventilators? Can we print the attachments like that Venturi attachment? I know people are doing it. As a corporation, we have to be careful here at Witmix because it is a patented device, so we're not printing anything that's patented. As an end user yourselves, I mean, you're more than welcome to take the risk upon yourself. If there's a need where you can fit in and get it done, I think that's awesome. Just be careful with whatever objects have patents on it, just to kind of protect yourself from not doing it. And then also make sure you're using the right material. If it's something that's going to be, in the medical industry, I think you really need to have, printing out of a class 1 or class 2 material, whether it be the surgical guide material or splint resin like our Verisplint, or even some of the denture resin. Those are all class 2 medical device materials. So just something to consider. You don't want to, we want to try our best to do good, but not harm anybody at the same time.
Yeah, and I just kind of want to touch on that. I'm actually going to share my screen real quick. That's going to show the Bellis part. Is it showing for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can kind of see the application for what they're doing at Bellis. But again, kind of like what Cory was saying is, producing these things, you also do want to protect yourself, not knowing whether or not these, they are probably more effective, but you can't make any guarantees about how they'll protect from the virus, of course, unless you've actually gone through the testing through an independent party. So you can see even here, Bellis is just making a little disclaimer that says, hey, this is to help seal the mask, but we haven't tested the effectiveness, so use at your own risk. And that's kind of something too when we're looking at printing these face masks that we've been looking at is, one, how long would it take to get the testing done? And that's right now a long time. So, you have to, as much as you want to help, you also have to be able to, protect yourself from anything kind of like that.
Yep.
Also, I was going to show a few masks that we're working on that are more of like a medical grade and things that might help your community. So like this one right here, this is one that we found. I can't take credit for it. I think it came out of Montana. But what it does is actually lets you cut out a little piece. So this is actually from one of the N95 masks that we had laying around. So you can cut a 2.5 inch square, and you just have this little insert that goes behind it. And then it'll press into this spot on the mask. So what it lets you do, and if you're doing this in like our splint material, then this outer shell can be autoclaved, and then you just replace the filter as needed. We've also adapted a few designs out there, like this one. We'll take one of 3M's inserts that we use back in our plant to filter out silica, but this is actually better than the N95 that's needed for the virus. However, the issue we're finding is that all this filter media is hard to find at this point. You might be able to get a few, to help, protect your family and loved ones. But right, at least at this time, it's going to be pretty hard to get your hands on it for a kind of mass-produced device.
Yeah. And another thing to consider when 3D printing these masks, the N95 mask, part of what qualifies it to be so protective is the fact around the seal that it's creating when it's actually on the patient's face or on the end user's face. So like, for example, my beard, I would be not a good candidate for wearing one of those masks. It literally is not going to have any effectiveness. And you can see with Bryce as well. Now, Evan, he'd be safe. But just something to think about, when you're wearing these masks, is if I was to wear one, I can have contaminants come through on the side where my beard is, and it's not going to seal at all. It may protect a little bit, but not much at all. But that was pretty cool, Evan, that the way that they all integrate together. And those, the first one that Evan showed you, that is a free STL file online. Once again, we printed that in the splint resin, and it's on, I believe you found it on Thingiverse. I just want to show something. If you guys were to go to Thingiverse, let me share my screen real quick.
Did you?
Maybe.
Make yourself a presenter.
Yeah.
Oh, it won't let me.
Okay. I think you guys may be able to see my screen now.
Yep.
All right, so let me just move this over. So if we were to go to thingiverse.com even, right at the top of the screen, actually, there's a ribbon that they put up is have access to a 3D printer. Here's a collection of 3D printable parts to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. So if we're to select on here, on that link, it opens up a page that is devoted just to COVID-19 STL files. So something else that you guys can look for. And so you can see they have mask adapters, different PPE masks, face shields, stuff to help prevent you from touching objects. So if you're trying to open up doors but not trying to actually touch it with your hands, that'd be, they have different concepts there. So it's another helpful tool that you can see. Just so everybody can see that, I'll go ahead and put it back. So Bryce, you've been working for home for, I'd say the past, was it 2.5 weeks now, 3 weeks?
Yep.
And so what are some things that you've done to help you work from home? I know you're going to be doing a full video showing it, but just so end users can see what they can do from home, even from the dental industry as well.
Yeah. So, well, similar to you guys, I'm working on some 3D printing projects here, particularly the mask clips. Those are something that like Cory said, my wife Ashley is an RN at a pediatric hospital here in Louisville, and that's one thing that they've really brought to our attention is that it's like literally rubbing the backs of their ears raw, having these masks on all the time. And so those mask clips are something that I'm going to be printing a lot of. It's the biggest challenge of working from home, and those of you that are working from home and have children understand is it's definitely it takes some time to adapt to balancing working from home with the family life and getting pulled away if a kid needs something or stuff like that. So that's honestly, for me, that's the biggest challenge. But I definitely have a lot to keep me busy, so I'm going to move my camera here just a little bit. So I did have actually a bed. So this was like an office slash spare bedroom in our house. And I actually just brought basically an entire mobile laboratory from work with me. And I'm basically going to set this up as basically a miniature laboratory. So I got a couple of foldable tables from Walmart. They were out of desks, which is hilarious because everybody's working from home now. So I guess, everyone's out of desks. So I got a couple pop-up tables. I'm basically going to set up a mobile laboratory here. I'm going to be over the next few weeks. We're going to be doing a lot of videos like these between the three of us. I'm also going to be doing some videos just kind of showing how you can work from home. I'm in a kind of a nice position to show that because Cory and Evan are still in the office. And I'm kind of facing the same thing as a lot of you, where either you're working from home or you're looking for a way that you can set up a laboratory at home. So I'm going to be putting together some content, and hopefully we can all share feedback and share ideas with each other. But we're doing a lot of training, stuff like this. So we're finding ways to stay busy. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it is an adjustment period, and I mean, if anybody here that's watching today, if you're still in the office and everybody else is not in the office, it's weird how quiet it is. And so like when we're sitting here at work, yeah, it is creepy. Me and Evan, we had to walk back to in our print facilities to check on some swab prototypes we were working on. And when we got back there, it kind of felt like a ghost town in the facility. And I imagine a lot of people feel that, and it's just weird. This whole thing is just strange. Now, on a more personal level, it's been hard to kind of like get used to the social distancing, and I think we all have experienced this. And so like this last weekend, we had a game night using, was it Zoom? Is that the meeting?
Yeah.
So we had a Zoom meeting where we had a group of our friends, and then so it was me, Bryce, Evan, William Devine, Matt Drury, and some other colleagues that we work with in the industry, and just friends in general. And so we did a Zoom meeting, and we played what was it? Jackbox games.
Yeah, Jackbox games.
So you guys can still be friendly with your friends and sociable, and it's amazing how much we starve on that social interaction. And I was talking to the guys about it. It's when you're put in a situation where you have to work from home or you're not allowed to work, it almost feels like you're being punished. Which is we got to remember this is only a temporary thing, and we all will overcome this eventually. We have to. And if anybody has any questions at all, please feel free to ask. I want to highlight the fact that this is all being recorded. And then I think the other thing I want to show is our digital training series that we have. I'm sure since you all found the first one, you guys see the rest of them, but I just want to remind everybody when they're going to be. So let me go ahead and pull this back up again. And let me know, can you guys see the screen again?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. So the first week that we're going to talk about after today, the next one is going to be an open Q&A where it's all things digital. We're also going to open this up to core products as well. We're going to invite our core technician, William Devine. He's going to talk about some tips and tricks on how to preserve your equipment for the long span of not using it, how to protect your gypsum and investment. What are some tricks that you can do to make sure that everything is still going to be functioning when you get back to the laboratory, because we will be back to work eventually. And you guys will be back to work and back in the full swing of things. So we just want to show you some tips on how to protect everything from being damaged when you get back. Beyond that, we'll be doing just open Q&A on 3Shape, Roland, Millbox, Asiga, and Bellis 3D. The April 10th, we're doing computer maintenance. So that's going to be Evan and Bryce. I'm going to let them both do that. I am not as computer savvy as both of them, so this is their realm. If you guys have any computer questions, then April 10th is the day to do it. And then April 13th, the week of April 13th, we're going to break into Sprints 101. On Monday, it's going to be scanning and designing. Wednesday, it's going to be printing splints and showing tips and tricks on how to print it. On the 17th, we're going to be doing the post process, so actually cleaning the splints in alcohol, showing you how to cure it, and then how to polish it effectively. I know that's a pretty common topic where a common question we get is like, how do you polish these splints? I've been trying, but I'm not getting the results I want or results I've seen people post photos of. So I'll show you the process that I go through for polishing the splints, and they turn out almost like glass. The next week, April 20th, we have Scan and Design Dentures 101, Digital Dentures 101. So Bryce and Evan, they're going to work on scanning and designing digital dentures. And then the Wednesday, it's going to be printing them, tips and tricks on how to orient them to reduce the amount of supports and increase the accuracy or precision of the denture. And then the final day, which is really exciting, Bryce is going to cover how to do characterization of digital dentures. And then Evan will be attending that as well. To heckle him along and make sure he does a good job and ask the appropriate questions. Yeah. And then we have, after that, we're going to do temporary design. So it's going to say it's the same rhythm. First Monday is going to be scanning and designing the digital temporaries. Bryce and myself are going to do that. And then we're going to have printing temporaries and then post-processing temporaries on Friday. And then we're going to go into abutment design. So this is going to be screw retained restoration, screw retained bridge, or just custom abutment. So Bryce and Evan, they're going to go through on how to scan it in and order form creation and what you need to know before you get started. Scanning and then the design is going to be on Wednesday, the 6th. And then on the 8th, we're going to talk about milling the actual screw retained restorations and millbox, some tips and tricks inside a millbox that Evan's going to be able to show us. And that's all we have lined up. So we're always interested in taking any sort of suggestions of what we want to do next. I know we have a couple in the pipeline that we're going to have for after that week of May 4th. If any of our viewers or customers say, like, I really want to see X, Y, and Z, let us know what that is, and we can custom tailor the next series to that. We'll be able to come up with other ways, and we'll have more topics, but it'll really help from the viewer standpoint to let us know what you guys really need to see as well. It's going to be exciting. It's a good time to take advantage of these training series. We'll be able to learn a lot together through this.
Yeah, I'm really excited about all this. I think this, as terrible as this entire situation is, I think it's a good opportunity for us as an industry to kind of really come together and kind of unify under a single banner. I think it's a good chance for us to learn from each other. Cory and I don't mean to speak for them, but I'm pretty sure they feel the same way. The learning never stops, and I think there's a lot that we can all learn from each other during this. Not even necessarily dental related, but just as human beings. I think there's a lot that we can come together and make happen. So I'm really looking forward to these next few weeks, just talking with everybody and everything. So yeah.
Awesome. I have a thank you, Bryce. I have a couple quick questions or comments. The first question I have is, where can we add the file? Once again, email us at productsupport@whitmix.com. We can get you guys the files. The next question I had, or actually statement was, thank you for putting these together. Absolutely. This is one way that we can give back. If we can't produce something, let's at least give back education. And then another question is there a possibility for us to get a private one-on-one session on design post-webinar, and is there a fee per hour? So after the webinar, if you want a one-on-one session, there is a fee associated with it. We're working on getting it, I have a plan to get it at a discounted rate for the certain circumstances that we're in. So if you're interested in having one-on-one training, let us know. Just send me an email at productsupport@whitmix.com. and I'll be able to provide you the rough amount of hours you think you'll need to copy whatever topic it is. And of course, I'll let you know what the price is for it. The the traditional training, if we're not in this situation, it's $150 an hour. I'm looking to cut that roughly in half, and we'll be able to work with everybody and make sure that they are able to take advantage of as much training as they can. Those are all very good questions. If anybody has any other questions, we'll probably finish up this webinar a little bit early. I know it's not a full hour, but this is just the intro. We have a lot more to come. So please, if you have any questions, please go ahead and add it in right now. We'll wait a couple more minutes. While we're waiting for that for people to filter in any more questions, Evan, what have been some things that you've been able to do, like outside of work, to, I guess, stay busy and not turn into a hermit? I know it's so hard to in this time. I mean, for me and my wife, I mean, especially, we were like, we didn't want to like be stuck in the house the whole time. So it's like we're trying to find ways to get out and about without, disturbing the social distance, and potentially become sick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably the biggest one for us has just been going to the parks, but of course being aware that not everybody's going to treat this the way that it needs to be treated. So we've gone on the more off the main trail kind of stuff, and just if people aren't social distancing, we make sure we take that step. So I'd encourage anybody who's going to go out, of course, to actually treat it the way it needs to be treated, even if it seems silly. But yeah, that's the main thing. And then just mowed the lawn for the first time, or my wife mowed the lawn for the first time.
Yeah.
So that kept her busy, as she is working from home. So she's definitely been feeling it a little bit more than I have, as far as the the social and psychological hit that you take from being stuck in your house all the time.
Yeah.
It is real. It is real.
Yeah.
And working on the truck, trying to
Yeah.
get the beast running again.
What about you, Bryce? What have you been doing to I guess stay active and not hermitize yourself?
Yeah, so I've been a few things. I've been doing a little bit of mushroom hunting. So for any of you mushroom hunters out there, its season is gearing up for full swing. So that's been keeping me busy, and for the most part away from people. I played a couple games of disc golf, which was nice. It's nice to, especially now that the weather is really warming up, it's been nice to get out of the house and just get some fresh air and stay active. I'm also more on the house project side of things, where we're working on building a patio on the back side of our house.
Nice.
So I've been just working on like digging out a little area, and we're gonna build a little retaining wall because it's kind of up against a hill. So I went to Lowe's yesterday to get some blocks for the retaining wall, and there was a line. So I'm sure most of you guys have seen this at this point, but they just started doing it here in Kentucky. So all of like the retail stores are now like limiting how many people they're letting into the stores at once. So it's super surreal. So I went to Lowe's, and they had a roped off line, and there were probably like 50 people in line waiting to get into the store.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. I mean, to think back like a month ago, I and to see where we are now with all of these precautions, it's just crazy. And Walmart was the same way. They had everything roped off, and they're actually at the Walmart here where I live, the lawn and garden section, which is what I was there for, is completely shut. You can't go in at all.
Yeah.
As well as a couple of the other departments are actually completely shut down, which is it's wild.
Yeah, so for myself and staying active, I kind of encountered the same thing as you, Bryce. So this last weekend, my wife, she needs a desk. And so if anybody has tried buying a desk to work from home, it is literally impossible. So I was like, all right, we'll just build one. I'm pretty handy. So I was like, all right, let's go ahead and let's build one. And so we bought all the lumber, prepaid for it online, and then I would just have to go and pick it up. And so when I got to Home Depot, there's that line of like 30 people outside, and then I got inside, and it was like it was like another 25-minute wait, and it's still, the social distancing isn't really being practiced inside the store, so people are still, at least in the Home Depot I went to, they're pretty full still, with people like right next to you. So like as soon as I got home, I like took off all my I have this routine when I get home after I've been exposed. I take off all my clothes in the garage, and then I go take a shower immediately, and then I throw all my clothes in the washer and wash it. I know that's kind of being like overprotective, but I think it's I mean, you got to protect yourself, and
Yeah.
you don't know what, I mean, I don't know what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
So while we were just all talking there, we had a couple more questions come up, so I'll go ahead and read through them. And if anybody wants to answer them, please go ahead. So one of the questions is, in case we are not able to attend one of the sessions, can you repeat it, and how can we view the session at a later time? Actually, I can answer that. So all this is being recorded, and it will be accessible at the same page where you registered. Let me fact check that real quick, because one of our marketing managers actually put that on there. We please add. Yeah. All right. So the recording is going to be added to the same page where everybody registered on. So if you guys want to watch this at a later date, please feel free. If you have trouble finding it, send us an email, productsupport@whitmix.com. We'll be able to put you in the right direction. Another question, which I think Evan may have already answered it, but just so everybody hears it, are the sessions software specific, or is it more an overview of the techniques and use it with other software? So Evan, I'll let you go ahead and.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, we're going to cover like general workflows and everything that we'll be using our software, which would be 3Shape for any of the CAD design, Roland Millbox for milling, and then Asiga or the Whitmix VeriBuild printers for the 3D printing side. So again, the workflows can be translated usually in some form or another to other softwares, but as far as what we're showing on the screen, it's going to be what we use here.
Okay, cool. The next question we have is also, in case one of our clients is interested in joining, is there a way they can review all the previous sessions? Yes, they'll be able to go to the website where you actually signed up, and previous videos will be listed there under each topic that's being covered. So you betcha. Next question is it possible to invite our clients to attend? So it's kind of a repeat. Just send them the link. If you go to whitmix.com, on the top border there, the banner, it will rotate through, and you'll find where it says COVID-19, I believe it says free training sessions. And Evan, if you want to show how to access it.
Yeah, so I just pulled that up. So if you go to whitmix.com, let me get rid of this. Then at the top we have training. So if you just click training, that's going to take you to the same page. And if you scroll down, this is where you'll find the webinars to register, or as we actually do the webinars, you'll be able to come back and view the recording.
Awesome. Thank you, Evan, for showing that.
You're welcome.
And then we had one of our good customers from Florida, actually, as we were talking about what are we doing to stay busy, they went ahead and they've closed all the public boat ramps, so no fishing. So the next best thing is playing Call of Duty on his Xbox. So I mean, that's I think we're all to that point. I think I haven't looked into it to see, but I'm sure all game state, or like Xbox and like Nintendo Switches and PlayStations, I'm sure their sales have probably gone up significantly since this.
Yeah.
And I know for my wife,
Yeah, I'm
for
sure.
example, she bought Animal Crossings. It's like the most mildest game I've ever seen, but she's been playing that, and on like her lunch break to try to stay sane. And it's actually a game about these like animal cartoon characters, and they have life on an island. So she's like faking social interaction.
I really wish Netflix would have predicted this, because I think we're all ready for more Tiger King episodes, right?
Oh my goodness.
I think we're all ready for that.
So that's another thing. I'm sure you guys have all seen Tiger King, or if you guys have been on Netflix with your free time or freer time that you have now, it is literally the worst show I've ever seen in my entire life.
But it's also
But-
kind of the
But
best
you
though.
can't not watch it.
Yeah, unfortunately, you cannot not watch it. It's like watching what do they call it, like a train crash or a very slow
train
car
wreck.
crash, a train
Yeah.
wreck. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
watching it just like so slow, and you can't look away, and you have to watch it. But it's yeah.
Pretty bad.
We got another question in. It says, will CE credits be available for any of these sessions? At this point in time, we don't have anything registered. We will have to get all the classes approved. It was kind of last minute when we threw the course description together and the list together. If we have anything that is available for CE approval, we'll go ahead and let you all know that. Once we get that, the CE approval, I guess, verified or certified. That was a good question. At this point in time, no, but I think it's just a matter of submitting it and getting it approved. So hold tight on that. Looks like that's maybe it for the questions. I don't see anything new as of yet. My wife just texted me and told me to stop talking so much. All right. I guess that'll conclude it. Evan, Bryce, do you guys have anything to say? Oh, another question: is Whitmix still shipping orders?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we
As far
are.
as I know.
There's a confident answer to that. Yes, to that question, and the answer is yes. We still are shipping orders, absolutely. So we do have a full team here. Not completely full, but we still have a team here to be able to get orders out and get products out. If you guys are any of our print services customers, you're still going to be getting your models and so on and so forth. Any equipment, it's all going to be shipped out still. If I need to get a slideshow or file to explain products from Whitmix, where can I get it? Thanks. I guess if you have a specific one you're looking for, send us an email at product support, or contact your dealer of who you're looking for or what you're looking for exactly.
Yeah, and one other thing I wanted to point out that it's been pointed out in chat, but I'm not sure if everybody's seeing that. Orders from our Colorado plant won't be shipping. That facility is closed completely. So Danar, Hanau, articulator repairs, or new orders for those, that kind of stuff, that won't be shipping until we're fully operational again.
Okay, let's see what else we have. Oh, and for orders, if you have any orders that you need to get through, and if our customer service reps, they are working from home, and so what they can do is they can email us at WM customer service or cuss service. Wow, I'm butchering that, at whitmix.com. So it's WM cuss service at whitmix.com. For any sort of orders, so just email them there and you'll be able to get orders in to us, and we'll respond back immediately with that. We got one more question. Bryce, if a customer buys equipment if a customer buys equipment now, how is the training handled? So what have we done to help with trainings within the midst of this COVID?
Yeah, so for those of you that have an Heceta Max, obviously you're probably already aware that Heceta Max trainings, we already do remote anyways, which is really nice. So if you purchase an Heceta Max, that training is going to be just like it would have been outside of this crisis. As far as 3Shape goes, we are doing remote trainings. So I'm doing a lot of 3Shape trainings. And normally when you purchase a 3Shape system from us, typically customers will come in for 2 days of training at our facility. Obviously that's not happening. So we've ceased all in-person trainings at Whitmix, but to kind of replace that, we are doing remote training sessions. We can do them in honestly whatever kind of increments you would like. We can do 2-hour sessions, we could do 4-hour sessions. It's kind of up to you. So we're leaving that kind of as your decision, because you know, this is an inconvenience for everybody, but most importantly, you as the customer. It is the biggest inconvenience for us. So we're being really flexible with that. So yeah.
Yeah.
And you know,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I
No.
was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're also not taking that, you know, as the full 16 hours in-person training. You know, this is just to get you guys up and going. So your hardware's not sitting there, but you're still entitled to the 2 days on site after we're back, you know, having trainings in the office.
Yeah, I was going to say that exactly. So we're still going to honor whatever trainings you need after the remote trainings is just to get you up and running. And we will, of course, do in-person trainings and be able to go through everything together again. So that's absolutely no problem at all on our end. Okay, I think that is so far all the questions that have come up. I just wanted to thank you all for your time that you've given us. We're excited to do this full training session. It's going to be a good time. We'll be able to educate on a lot. And anytime you have questions during this trainings that we're doing, the reason why we're going to have 2 people going is so we can stop at exactly that instant and ask whatever question comes through. So if in the next session, if you have a question while we're in the process of scanning or designing or 3D printing, polishing, whatever it may be, please ask it, and we want to make sure we address it right away. Cool. Well, the next session we have is on Wednesday. It's at 12 noon Eastern time, and it's going to be on the open Q&A session. That will be with Bryce, myself, Evan, and we will have William Devine on our core team. He's going to be able to answer any questions on any of our core products and give tips once again on how to have your equipment last throughout this time of potentially not working or lower reduced work, and how to keep your equipment up to date. And then of course, we'll be asking and answering any questions that you ask about 3Shape, Roland, Sega, whatever it may be. And then on Friday, to conclude the week, it's going to be the computer maintenance. So I'm really excited to watch that so I can learn something about computers. And it's going to be a good course. And once again, just look at the schedule, what we have coming up the next couple weeks. And if you want any files, please email us at productsupport@whitmix.com, and we'll be able to proceed through everything. Awesome. Well, thank you all. Take care, and we're in this together, and we'll overcome it.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye now.